All right, so we are here at the Real Avid booth. I got Tim. He's going to run us through all the new stuff, all the new tools that they got for 2025.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate the intro here, and thanks for having us on the channel. As you were saying, this is our new selection for 2025. I'll start to go through everything here bit by bit, and then you'll... I didn't even make that pun on purpose.
Yeah.
Bit by bit.
Yeah, I like that.
So new for 25, and basically what we're really excited about is what we call our X3 system. And this is a driver system. Anything like, you're going to loosen or tighten with some sort of precision, this is something that's going to be able to help you with. The key components of that is going to be our driver set itself, right? So the reason why it's called an X3 is because it has 3 configurations. You take the typical T-bar, right? And you can imagine how that would work, right? And then we have the addition of being able to now use that with the ratchet, right? So, and this is 72-bit, so still very rather smooth, but still girthy enough to be able to handle up to our 65 linear pounds of torque, right? So along with that, we can also use this as a driver set, right? Either as an extended driver, like a screwdriver would be, or you could take this off and you could use just the driver, itself, right? So
nut driver.
Yeah, like a nut driver, right? So you have all 3 of these configurations: the T-bar, the ratchet, and then also the driver, all in the same tool, right? Which is a nice bump up from some of the competitors and some of the things that we've seen in the past, right? So if we understand these 2 components, then we understand that all we're going to do is change the configuration of those models, right? So let's go over those configurations. If we look here, we have, if we take the middle first, we have a pretty extensive amount of different bits and drivers, right? The next one over, you're going to have your common, both metric and SAE, plus some drivers, right? Along with this side, so you have sockets and drivers, right? So drivers, sockets, and drivers. And then we have some limiters, right? So you have the ability, and these sets are pretty much identical, but there are 2 main differences. You have fixed limiters, right? So these are all going to be, you use each one of those limiters for that weight. And then you have a variable limiter, right? So people will ask, well, why would I want one versus the other, right? So for people that are using different limitations regularly, it's going to be easier for them to, trip out from one to the other pretty quickly, right?
Versus sitting there adjusting back and forth.
Exactly, right? Versus sitting there adjusting. But for the convenience, especially if I'm going to take this and throw this in my range bag, right? Like where I'm not using it, every single day and doing 5 different limitations, then this is going to be like your go-to, right? Because it just has everything that you need. It has your drivers in here as well with your driver and extension, right? And then on top of that, now we have the ability to go anywhere between 15 and 65 in the same device, right? So we'll go over that and show you how that works. You have a detent here on, and what you could do is you could push that detent back, and that opens up and allows you to set the top channel. It allows you to set it using the top channel. So you're gonna put this on top, and you can see here there's a window.
Oh yeah.
Right. And every time that you turn it, you're going to see a little or feel a little bit of a detent, right? So every time that you turn, that's going to be 1 pound. And 1 complete circle will be 4 pounds, right? There's 4 pounds for each circle, right? So if I get to whatever poundage I want, I'm just going to push that back over, and now, assuming I had this on everywhere, whatever bit I need, now I can get to that limitation, right? And there's a nice positive click that you hear versus, again, some of the other competitors and whatnot, it kind of just stops. It starts to slide, right? Like a clutch does. This has that nice traditional feel.
Like a torque wrench.
Yeah, like a torque wrench, exactly. So other things that you'd find a little bit different about some of our limiters here is we wanted to expand. Some of the issues that people were having was they had a very square shoulder, right? So it'd be harder to get down in some of those optic plates and whatnot. So what we did is we made a shoe, right? So we have a shoe that's right here like this, and then we also have this chamfered edge. So it gives you just a little bit more depth where you might not need an extended bit driver and whatnot. And what's really cool about this is there's so many different configurations that you can use on this. You can just use it right onto the ratchet. You can use it onto the T-handle. You can put the extension on either side, right? So it could go, hold on, if I flip that around there. So you can do like such. So the extension could be onto the bottom, but maybe you need the extension inside, like maybe like a handle, like a AR handle or something, so you can flip that back around. You can put the extension up there on the top as well, right? And then obviously the driver would just go on the bottom. And a lot of these sets will come with the ratchet and driver together. So we've even had people that if you needed more extension, you can add these extended pieces together and whatnot like that, right? So like say you need to get into them. So it just gives you a lot of versatility with each one of the different packages that come in that, right? So, all right, so if you didn't need torque limiters or anything like that, we have a slim down version for your bag as well, right? This is going to give you all your drivers. Maybe you just need to tighten some stuff up and you just want a smaller package in your range bag, and you don't need the the torque limiters. You're not going to get much, more precise package that you're going to put together like that, right?
And you won't even notice that in your range bag.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's small enough, throw it in the pocket, and
I mean, it's half the size of your magazines, right?
Yeah.
Also, well, those are going to be all of our things that are tighten and loosen things, right?
Are these all available right now?
They're going to be available in the third month, I believe. So first quarter, we're taking in orders now, but by the time they ship, it'll probably be March, April, May.
Okay.
That's a above me question.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I got you.
Yeah. So also new for this year. If you guys are aware about our block system, so our bench block system works a little bit different than some other people, like a bev block would be, stuff like that. One of the things that we did is we added a shim and a screw system. So what happens is this shim that you see, that little bit of red that's right there, right? We can insert this in, and then we twist. And as we twist, that shim drives its way down, spreads the tongs that are here, and takes up any of that play that you would have in a traditional bev block, right?
Yeah.
So we came out one with for AR-15 last year. Got a great response for it. There was a lot of questions and drive towards moving that towards a 9mm block, so you can use it on your pistols and pistol caliber carbines. So that's what we did with this. So same design as our previous bev blocks or bench blocks, just in a 9mm version.
Are these gun specific? So you got to buy one for a Glock. You got to buy.
No, it's gonna be caliber specific, right? Okay. So 223, is our traditional like AR-15, right? So anything that would be inside that, like 300 Blackout, would also work for that as well, right? But for this year, 9mm. That's where we're at. And last thing for you traditional shooters out there is we have a maintenance kit, a new maintenance kit that's for flintlock itself, right? So this is going to be everything we need basically to run, maintain, clean our muzzleloader type devices, right?
Oh, that's cool.
I'm a Pennsylvania boy. We like to do flintlock. We have an actual flintlock season, but turns out everybody else just likes percussion of some sort.
Yeah.
We call that cheating where I come from, but that's okay. For all you cheaters out there, right? You still have something that I guess tradition would probably have like a monopoly on this area, but we tried to put a lot of those devices into like a multi-tool and a cleaning kit, right? So you have a bunch of your scrapers that you would see that comes out here. You can scrape to get all your black powder buildup off and everything else like that. So a lot of different scrapers, even the ability to be able to scrape through any, like where your percussion cap would go and whatnot. And this part is actually pretty cool itself. Let me put this one back in and then go. So even for like that touch hole where the percussion cap would throw the spark through, right? Have that little wire.
Cool.
Yeah, right. So that way you can get in there and you can clean out any that type of carbon buildup that would happen with that. So along with that multi-tool, we have everything that you would need: a breaker bar, extension sockets, the unique bits that they have just to be able to take off those end plugs that you see on those muzzle loaders, and then brushes and cleaning kits for that. Or brushes and I guess just brushes, right?
Yeah.
2 brushes and.
Are those brass bristles on there?
Brass bristles as well, yeah. So everything that you need to do to break that down, clean it, repair it. You want the soap and water.
Yeah.
No soap and water included.
I got you.
So that's everything that we got as far as what's new for 2025 from Real Avid.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, man. Can you run us through this vise really quick? Because I've been eyeing these for a while, and I definitely need to add this to my gun room.
Yeah. You and everybody else. I don't know why you'd be like eyeing this and not buying.
I know.
Why you eyeing it but not buying?
I need to.
This should be our slogan. Why you stop buying? Stop buying. All right. So I'm gonna get to be a lead of marketing sooner or later, I guess. All right, so this is the Real Avid Master Gun Vise, right? So it without a doubt for me is the marquee item that Real Avid has, right? So I'm gonna start you and show you kind of basically how it comes in the box. So the super cool thing about Real Avid is it's a gun vise that's made for guns and, you know, armoring. It is a medium to light duty vise, and it has a bunch of unique features just to make working on firearms so much easier, right? So you have a couple different options as far as the clamping down, like holding and securing whatever firearm you might be using. You could use steel if you wanted to, but not a lot of people are going to do that, right? You're going to mar that whole thing up. So we have these shoes that we would traditionally use with a regular vise. You'd put that shoe on, you push it down, right? So these shoes are made and built to work within the vise itself, right? So you have this Teflon type of material. It's gonna be a non-marring. And what happens is you slip these shoes on over top of, you know, the steel shoes, and then you can drive those right in. These pins secure it so it doesn't move, right? So I won't do it with the other one anyway, because I want to show you. You can also flip these around, right? And now you have a closed cell foam. So if you're going to work with a lot of traditional hunting rifles or shotguns and whatnot, anything that has a wood surface, this is going to be really good for that as well, because not only is it non-abrasive, it's soft enough that it's not going to create any indentations within the wood, right? If you needed to be more secure, working on air platforms, something that I'm worried about like scratching or bending or anything like that, we have some additional jaws. These are what we call our smart jaws. They're multi-fit, sorry. Smart jaws, multi-fit. So this is going to be a harder rubber. It's a little bit tackier. It's great on holding just about everything else, right? And you can use the texture side, or you can use the flat side depending on your needs and whatnot. So, but that, the way that we hold and what we hold within the vise, that's pretty unique to it as well, because of the different interchangeable sleeves. But the magic all comes with the ability to move the vise. So what separates this from everything else is this is what we call a ball pivot vise, right? So you're going to see that it comes straight up and down, but it's housed within a ball that then is compressed down to make it static or rock solid, right? So you're going to see on the back side here, we can loosen this, and if we were to loosen that and take that lock off, now all of a sudden we can start to move things. So to give you an idea what that looks like and the versatility you have, we're just going to take a rifle in general. Now this will work with anything, right? It doesn't actually even have to be a rifle. I actually have one of these in my garage as well, because I have some chainsaws and whatnot, sharpener chainsaw. It literally works with everything. So, in a traditional sense, what would you have to? The vise itself is stuck where it is, so you got to reach over top. If you're doing anything, pushing pins through, you don't have to do that with this vise. You just do that like this. I could drive this down, and if I need to, I can at any point I could stop that, and it'll kind of hold right where it is, right? And the amount of the ability to be able to move is pretty amazing itself, right? You can go any direction. Any position you want, right? You can go all the way around the circle. I mean, just to give you an idea of the versatility of that, right? So then people often say like, well, how solid is it? Like, can it move? And my answer to that would be, it's going to be pretty solid. However, it is still a friction, so if you were to hammer something, you can see that you could get it to move just a little bit, right? I'll take this out just so you can see a little bit better. And even if you want to show on the camera, I'm not sure how important that is for you guys, but if you look on the bottom of this ball, you can see that there are two cuts. There's a cut that goes directly down, like vertical, like the way we're looking, and there's another cut right there, right? So like a cross on the bottom. And what this does is this allows it to mechanically be locked, right? So it can lock in a horizontal position, or it can lock in a vertical position, right? And I'll show you what that looks like. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take this pin out. This is a storage location, right? And then there's two different places you could put that pin. Since the vise is horizontal right now, you can kind of watch that pin go right through there as that happens. Now, once that pin is through, it's mechanically locked. You're gonna rip this off the bench before you're gonna before that's going to move, right?
You're relying on the pin, not the friction.
Correct. Right, exactly, right? And it'll do the same thing, and it'll lock the same exact way when you go up through here as well,
Okay.
right? So it depends. It just depends on what your needs are, right? For me, I practically never use that. It's like if I have to break like a bolt, like a barrel nut or something like that. That's like when I start to use that. And then the last really unique feature that you would see on this is, imagine that you're going to be mounting an optic or something like that. A lot of times it's hard to get everything perfectly level. You'll be playing around with it and everything like that. And this is where some of the magic of Real Avid came, is you get this pretty level, at least eyeball it, right? And then they have this micro adjust knob over here.
Okay.
Right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna see how that twists right there? So you already have the vise locked down where it is, and now you're able to twist, find that level that you'd put that bubble level onto your upper, and then, twist that so that's perfect, and you just let go of that micro adjust, and that's gonna stay right where it is. Now you can mount your optic on top of that, level your optic, tighten everything down, you're ready to go.
Perfect.
Yeah. So they really did think of just about everything that
Yeah,
came to this boat.
very versatile. Well, cool. Tim, I appreciate you taking the time, man.
Absolutely, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.